Today, Donald Trump heads to Wisconsin, his fourth rally this year in that critical battleground state, in a bid to win over any potential undecided voters, with less than 60 days till the election.
But it could be an uphill climb for the former president. One poll showing Kamala Harris with a 6-point lead in the Badger State.
Our next guest is set to speak at Trump's rally in Wisconsin, Senate candidate Eric Hovde, and he joins us now. Eric, your race is fascinating and important nationally because whatever happens in Wisconsin is really going to determine the White House. So if you do well, Trump does well. If Trump does well, you do well. And you're both kind of running against candidates that hide from the press, fly under the radar, and people don't know a lot about them. Talk to us about all this.
Look, they're the same thing. They are both extraordinarily liberal. They're trying to change their positions of what they've stood for. You know, they support boys playing in girls' sports, men going to women's bathrooms, transgendering of our kids, the Green New Deal, which would devastate farmers and, you know, just propel inflation, opening our southern border. They've done nothing about the fentanyl crisis. All these things, you know, they're just so far out there. And both of them run from the press. They don't debate. Look, they're so out of line with Wisconsin. We're a center-right state. We're a true purple state, but we're center-right. And, you know, we have family values in this state.
I always think it's interesting whenever we start talking about these undecided voters, because it seems like you never do find any actual undecided voters. But what do you find is the most effective message to those undecided voters?
Look, the biggest issue by far is the economy. I mean, people have been crushed. The price of groceries, gasoline, energy, you know, housing costs. And by the way, has everybody looked at their auto insurance bill the last few months? So these are the issues that matter the most to people. And then you have markets like Milwaukee, where crime has become a major problem. People are concerned about health care costs and access to care. Up in the North Woods, where Rachel used to live, getting access to health care has become a real acute problem. So, you know, these are the issues. It's the pocketbook issues, the things that affect people's lives every day, that really are the things that matter most.
One of the things we know that impacts people's lives, Eric, is illegal immigration. It impacts people's lives in many different ways. And one of the things that's being highlighted recently is what we saw in Colorado with the Venezuelan gang taking over apartment blocks. But now we know as well it's happening in Wisconsin, the very same Venezuelan gang. Bill Malhusian tweeted out or posted on X, police in Prairie du Chien, a small city in rural Wisconsin with a population of just 5,400, announced the arrest of a suspected Venezuelan Tren de Aragua gang member who allegedly violently and sexually attacked a woman and injured a juvenile in the process. ICE now involved. Your reaction to what's happening in Wisconsin, Eric?
Look, every state's a border state now. We've had multiple incidences with illegal immigrants. We had one that killed his own 2 children about a month ago in our state. We had a father of several young children who was killed in a drunk driving accident by a illegal immigrant. We had a 12-year-old girl that was kidnapped. Fortunately, she got away and was able to break out of the car and run to a house. So we've had these issues. Every state's a border state. And, you know, the fentanyl, we lost 108,000 Americans last year, but in Wisconsin, it touched Wisconsin in a very profound way. I mean, this fentanyl crisis is killing young Americans. It's the #1 killer of Americans from 18 to 45. So the crime issues, the fentanyl issues, compounding the problems of access to housing and health care are all being rippled effects on our state because of this illegal immigration.
Yeah. Well, Eric, a lot of people saying that Kamala Harris learned how to hide in this election from her boss, Joe Biden. I think it's from Tammy Baldwin. She's been doing this for a long time. We're hoping you can smoke her out and we can get to know what she really believes and really face the voters, because she's done this for a decade or more.
100%. She's only given me one debate. Usually you get 3 to 4. She doesn't answer questions by the press. She runs back in our state as a moderate, and she's voted typically one of the 2 or 3 most liberal senators.
That's not democracy.
That's not democracy. Yep. So if people want to help out, if I win this race, we take control of the Senate, I think President Trump is going to win it. Don't pay attention to the polls. They had him under polling in 16 and 20, losing by a lot. We need to win this state, me and President Trump. So if you want, send some money to erichovde.com and help us out. But we plan to win this thing.
All right.
Thank you.
Eric.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
You got it.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.